Alright, we're back in the saddle again with a Boros variant. Today I want to try the Chthonian Nightmare Orcish Bowmaster Splash variant in the lurrus shell, because I think that Chthonian Nightmare actually does make up for a lot of the weaknesses of the lurrus version versus the Phalge version. I kind of had it in my head, oh, the Phalge is so much better when it comes to Boros decks. I always want to be playing Phalge, but lurrus is still an incredibly strong card, and Chthonian Nightmare over here helps this deck grind the same way that Phalge does and gives it the leg up in the mirror match the same way that Phalge did, while also letting us be super low to the ground so that we're not too slow and end up stumbling against some decks. All right, so the deck is pretty similar to what we've seen before. It's a bit of an amalgamation of the Phalge version and the Lurrus version. Compared to the Phalge version, we cut the Phalges and the Fables. We put 3 Ragavans and 2 extra removal spells in, I believe. We're playing Static Prison over Swords to Plowshares because we actually do care about the life gain if we are lowering the curve enough to play Ragavan and Ocelot Pride and Guide of Souls. I think this sideboard is the exact same. Oh, we're Sun Cleansing, kids. We got one Sun Cleanser hidden in the bottom. I only have one copy. I'm not crafted more. I had something else in the sideboard that the Deafening Silence got added for. Trying to remember what got taken out. Oh, I think it was extra swords. Yeah, we don't want that. All right, yep, this is it. Let's just go ahead and write it down. It'll be a spiky video where I'm just going to try to play optimally, explain my decision process. We're not really experimenting. This is what I think is a very good and very refined build. And we're going to be walking through decision making. So if you're trying to learn this deck, you're trying to get better at Timeless, hopefully this will help you hearing somebody else's decision making, because it's a tricky deck. And that's why I really like it. The deck doesn't pilot itself like some aggro decks are really just turn the creature sideways, put all your prowess spells out in one turn. It's straightforward. You learn that at a certain point. But this deck, the sequencing decisions are really intense, and like I've played over 100 games of this energy deck in various variations, and I still feel like I'm nowhere close to mastering it, and I'm always making new decisions. All right, we are having a high ranked game. We're against someone who's ranked number 120 right now. We have what I would call a very good opener with a Ragavan, Guide of Souls. Looks pretty good. We're going to lead on this Ragavan. All right, tap Mystic Sanctuary, so it's going to definitely be a slower deck. I've been seeing a lot of the Dimir Lurrus control, but that's not what this is because there's no Lurrus. I do think that deck is quite good. I was just thinking about it. We'll have to see exactly what our opponent's cooking, though. Always present a turn 1 Funny Monkey here. Oh, wow, they just didn't keep removal. Okay, sure. Really? That's not a hand you keep in Timeless. This guy's rank 20, right? I don't think you ever keep a hand that can't present interaction in the first 2 turns. Blue-black land, does that really give me more info? Not really. I could play the Amped Raptor. It is possible that I hit a removal spell that I don't really want to play right now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shock here for the white mana. I'm going to play Guided Souls, then we're going to flash in Bowmasters in a wee bit. Cycle the Lorien revealed, you got it. Really surprised that they kept this hand that doesn't interact. Oh, okay, because you had turn 3 show and tell. Okay, well, yeah, they say, folks. Sometimes you win, sometimes you spin. I'm gonna put this Bowmasters into play. And scope. Yeah, I haven't played against Show and Tell in a very long time. This is a classic deck, but it's one that fell off a little bit after Modern Horizons. Thankfully, in the sideboard, we are packing a lot of cards that would be good here. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of energy next turn, at least. But unfortunately, they did jam the Omniscience. This is a 99.9% win, right? Assuming that they have anything in hand. I'll just go ahead and make sure that they actually do get a good enough card to win the game. Like if they do Mastermind's Acquisition. Okay, I'll concede to that, because at this point, they just get Approach to the Second Sun, right? Yeah. And they just cast that twice. Okay. So... we have all of these silences and all of these thought seizes for their deck. That's pretty good. We could also bring in the surgicals to really rip the card out of their deck. I don't know if we're going to have that much. We could pull out all of the removal, though, in this matchup, which is absolutely sweet. Yeah, I'll take it all out. And I don't know if I want to dilute my strategy by taking creatures out. We could take a Nightmare out. That would make some sense. Just because we don't want to go that long. Maybe when we're going second, we take 2 Nightmares out. Seems pretty good. So we're going to be packing 4 discard spells, 2 ways to exile their combo, and 3 cards to slow them down. That should hopefully be enough. I mean, we have a lot of sideboard tech for the unfair matches, because that is what will beat this deck. Okay, this is sweet. I see 4 sideboard cards I keep, right? So this here needs to get Boros. We're going to slam Deafening Silence. Aha! You brought it in protection, but did you protect yourself from the silence? I don't think so, buddy. Oh no, I grabbed the wrong thing. I was too busy yapping. I was supposed to get red mana over there. My bad. Oof. And we're not drawing the red mana? Okay. Don't worry. We'll work our way out of this at some point. Unfortunate that like these surgicals are all kind of dead just because the Thoughtseize is also dead, but not the end of the world. Yeah, we're just gonna probably shock here, put Lurrus in our hand. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Now I'm thinking about just using surgical randomly here to hit a random card. Okay, I'm gonna shock in. Got a fatal push, you got it. So what I could do is I could surgical the fatal push. I could surgical this and try to screw them out of mana. I don't know what's in their hand though. If I knew what was in their hand and knew they had a second copy, I would be so happy to do that. Okay, I think I want to save the surgical for a card that actually matters for them winning. There's a few. There's a few. Any other tutor effects I would love to get rid of, even like a brainstorm or card advantage spell. Just pull them all out of the deck and they'll have an easier, even harder time winning. Okay, we're going to be show and telling immediately. I will be putting a lurrus into play. Probably show and tell attracts, it just beats me here, right? Okay, Omni means they can't actually play anything more. So I'm going to go ahead and surgical that show and tell. And then we'll see what they have in their hand. Okay, just get the information at least. Now they can't show and tell an attracts on a later turn. If they had something like another push, another polluted delta in hand, I would go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, and now we could flashback the Bowmasters. That's pretty sweet. We could see what's under the amulet first. I think that's a pretty good idea. What else are we really going to do, right? Our opponent can cast stuff for free, but they're limited to 1 a turn. This says non-creature, so we actually can cast our creature spells. Ragavan not looking perfect on this board at all, so we're just going to attack in. Actually, let me flash this before damage, so that we can grow our little token over here. Alright, so we actually do have a 2-turn clock. Our opponent is only going to have 2 of their turns. They have instants, though, so they can dig on our end step, find some stuff, yada yada. I already cast a non-creature spell, so maybe I could exile dig, maybe not keep, but then they could just cast a dig in response if they have one in their hand. Let's see what they're casting for the turn. It is going to be a demonic tutor. So what are they going to tutor for? Probably not a fatal push. I think it's probably worth it to surgical this dig on end step, though. I have difficulty believing that's a bad idea. One of the better card advantage spells in their deck. Ah, they do have another one. Okay, Cruise and Grip to hit my card. That's understandable. After they Crows in, they're going to have to go off without that dig through time in their hand, so it might be a little difficult for them. A little awkward here. I'd like to play the Amulet before I dash the Ragavan for that little bit of extra ping damage, but it's not going to happen. We're very close to killing them, by the way. So close to killing them. They go to 1 here. If we cast this spell from exile, we win. We thought seize ourselves for a victory. Wow, I've never thought seized myself to win the game before. That is amazing. Actually, good old screenshot time. That's a screen cap shared on Discord. Okay, let's run it back, right? Yeah, no changes needed. All right, sweet. We do have the Thoughtseize for disruption. They could have a defensive spell again. But if they do, we have a pretty good opener of Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride. Even do Ocelot Pride first here. Okay, they got the double defense. Don't blame them. This question is, do we want to start with the Ocelot Pride? Our opponent's never blocking this stupid thing, so I think we do start with the Ocelot Pride and get it cooking. Well, they Thoughtseize us, so they decide if we get Guide or Ocelot Pride. Okay, the answer is that we do get a Pride. This is tough. If they kept a good enough hand that actually can like tutor and get them to a combo, they do win this. But they might have just kept the hand off the strength of multi-Thoughtseize, multi-Leyline. Looks like that might be the case. Because like I'm not doing much right now. Okay, there's your Brainstorm. Hopefully they're not Brainstorm locked. Let's go ahead and get our Surveil in with the Ruckus. We are going to put our other Surveil in the bin, since we would like to draw action. Alright, I'm going to play this. No, they're stuck on one land. We're going to put lurrus into our hand. If they weren't stuck on one land, the correct play, I believe, is to play the Deafening Silence, so that there's zero chance of them show and telling and screwing us up. But it looks like they're stuck on one. They can't Dark Ritual into show and tell without having another land source, and I'm assuming they would just keep their land, other land in hand. Okay, they get to DT, so they can get themselves out of this, I would assume. But we could slam the Silence, slam a lurrus. I have a hard time believing that we're screwed here. And there's an Assemble. Okay, so they're looking pretty good. Let's slam the Silence before it gets out of hand. Oh, 2 silences? Yeah, we're not playing lurrus. We're just gonna play 2 silences. Oh, no, actually I can't, right? Because of how silence is worded. This is gonna prevent me from playing the second one. That's fine. We'll just follow it up next turn. If they have Omniscience, and, well, no, even if they show and tell Omniscience, if they have a Frozen Grip in hand, they can't cast it. Because it would be their second spell. Okay, who won? It's tough. Show and tell is a tough matchup. That's why I have sideboard cards for it, even if it's not a huge player in the meta right now. This deck is really weak against unfair decks because we're not main decking the discard, we're not main decking Hate Bears. We do have the sideboard tools for it, but our opponent has the anti-sideboard tools, like we saw at the Leyline of Sanctity. Right. Our opponent is going first, and I don't have turn 1 interaction. I also don't have anything to do until turn 2. So this is one of those hands that I think I mulligan. It's keepable. Against some decks, it's fine. And in a lower power format, this is totally an acceptable hand. It's a mix of lands and spells. But I don't think this is good enough for the format. I really don't know what my opponent is playing. If I knew what they were playing, I could maybe make a better decision. This hand does have 1 drop, so I like it a lot better. Alright, ooh, we're belching. Okay. So these MDFCs almost always mean Charbelcher. Charbelcher can kill us really quick. Oh, we get all the unfair matches today. Unfair has like not been popular on ladder at all. lately. I keep getting fair matches, fair mirrors, people playing scam, if you can call scam fair. But today we're getting all the hard combo decks, which kind of died out. A lot of these hard combo decks are underplayed. They're just, difficult to play. So a lot of people just had their fun brewing. But now we're back to show and tell, Belcher, and the other good cards. Right. Our opponent is attempting to cook. Let's go ahead and swing with the Ocelot Pride. I think the best thing we could do is play the Amped Raptor. Now, in this situation, I usually say, hey, don't play the Amped Raptor when your opponent has nothing on the board. You might hit a removal spell. But we need to clock our opponent as fast as possible here. I think Amped Raptor is going to be a faster way to do that than playing Guide of Souls. We do need to try to high roll and hit another creature. We hit a removal spell. That's very unfortunate. Oh, I shouldn't have played that. I made a mistake there. So how this is templated, you don't get the 2 energy unless you exile something. I should have just declined. So maybe there's a reason to do that, because I can now recur it with lurrus. There was some upside there, but I think I'm supposed to just keep my 1 energy. 2 energy instead of 1. Go ahead and get rid of this silly thing. We'll decline the pen. Unfortunately, we drew another basic planes, which is not interaction for them. I mean, we have very little interaction for Charbelcher in game 1. We just have to clock them fast enough. And we're going to make a lot of life, a lot of energy here. So hopefully we can F them up. Yeah, there's more energy. That means we can translate that energy into punching power. They don't really play removal spells in game 1 either, too. So we just fly whatever. Game 1 is very much 2 ships passing in the night. So either they're going to be able to cast a Dark Ritual and a Belcher next turn, or they're not. They also have cards like Beseech the Mirror to get the Charbelcher out. They could Beseech the Mirror into Ironcrag Fleet and pay a Belcher from their hand. There's a couple paths to victory with this deck for them. Looks like since they have nothing, if they're just blind drawing off the Chromatic Star. Okay, so we get a lucky game 1. Game 1 is like literally, can they combo before we kill them? And I would think most Belcher players could do that. Also, a note, absolutely the correct mulligan decision, because our other opening hand was like Nightmare, Bowmasters, and another slow card. I can't remember which one. We were not going to win that game if we kept that hand. We won because we had these 1-drops that helped us snowball, and we put pressure on the board so that we had lethal pressure on turn 4. A Chthonian Nightmare Bowmaster's hand doesn't do that. In fact, Chthonian Nightmare is so dang slow against them that I think it just all comes out. The bolts are technically reach. The Static Prison does like hate their Charbelcher, but I think like what we're really here to do is we just play them silences. All the Thought Seizes come in. We try to pull Charbelcher out of their deck. That would be really nice. Yeah, this seems like it. We don't want the slow and cute stuff. We want to kill him good, kill him fast. I think Bolt is still better than the last copy of Surgical. All right, sweet. All right, yeah, this is a hand with multiple hate pieces to start with. So it's the question of like, what is the correct turn 1 play? Should we play the Deafening Silence just to slow him down more? Should we play Ragavan to start snowballing? Since Ragavan is our only creature and we're not going to put up that much creature pressure, and we're not going to be able to follow up on him and like win quickly through creatures, I think we need to be slamming hate pieces as quickly as possible. So I think this turn we play the Deafening Silence. Next turn we play Ragavan in one of these. We don't really need both silences early. And we can like shock fetch really aggressively here because they're not going to touch our life total until they're killing us. So let's go ahead and Thought Seize them, like I said. Dark Ritual, that's a very good card. Karn, that is a very good card. Karn. So they can naturally hit Karn mana in a few turns if they get lucky with the drawing. I think I might actually leave them with the Dark Ritual. No, yeah, the Dark Ritual does nothing as long as we have a Deafening Silence on board because they cannot Dark Ritual into another card. So we're going to go ahead and take that Karn. Deafening Silence is a sweet card, by the way. Oh, it does good stuff for you. Alright, then we'll play our Ragavan. The Bowmasters is pretty good against all these random little Chromatic Star kind of effects. But still otherwise a bit slow, that's why I cut down to 2. I had even more sideboard cards that were good. Like if I had 2 copies of Duress in my sideboard, I'd cut the last 2 Bowmasters for 2 more discard spells. I think it's that good. Let's go ahead and attack with our Ragavan, see what we hit. It's probably going to be junk. Oh, that's not junk. That's really useful. Oh, I tutor. I was going to slam the second Deafening Silence, but hey, whoa, what do I want? The hell do I want? Another Thoughtseize? Oh, Pithing Needle for Belcher. Yeah. I can't cast a second non-creature spell this turn, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and flash out the Masters on their end step. At this point, we're just playing the hey, you can't win game, and we're going to slowly kill them with the Funny Monkey. You know what? One card that actually could screw us up still is... thinking of the name of it. Culling Ritual? Did you play that? So we can't take all of our Deer Sweets by time. They could eventually draw that thing and then go off. But they'd have to pay 4 mana for that and then have more mana and Dark Rituals to go off immediately right there. Yeah, they're going to draw. That's fine. I hope I'm not playing this too slow out here. Alright, Amped Boy. Do it. That was very cool. And then let's surveil the Ruckus. Don't need another land. We're just going to name Goblin Charbelcher here. Wish we did have a little bit more pressure this game, because like it's totally possible that they have a culling ritual line where they can get away with this. Alright, I needled it, but if they have a culling ritual, I think they do win. Interesting. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Actually, wrong. We're going to go ahead and play this Amped Raptor so we can get more energy, so we can pump our guys with the Guide of Souls. Maybe we can get lucky and hit a Thoughtseize. I'm not that much of a luck sack, unfortunately. Even though I love being lucky, it's better to be lucky than good. Flying Monkey. This is not a kill, unfortunately. I do really wish I had a Thoughtseize right now. Just so that I can be sure that there's no funny business going on. Can I play this as a land? I totally can, right? No, I have to cast it, not play. Okay. Oh, we can play this other Deafening Silence, but like it serves no purpose other than culling. It serves no purpose, right? They could culling ritual it. Okay, Wizards, Rockets, you got it. Shoot. Make some tokens, make a treasure even. Either they have it or they don't. This would be the most mana I've ever seen a culling ritual add, by the way. You know what? I'm trying to think right now. I'm just thinking in my head because I know for a fact Culling Ritual is the card that Charbelcher plays, and it's the card that beats our deck, right? So what sideboard card that can I play that would beat the Culling Ritual? And the answer is none because I'm a lurrus deck. The Culling Ritual says destroy everything with CMC 2 or less, and that's what we got here. Yeah. No other way to do it, right? Why are you putting that talisman down there, Fed boy? I'm gonna kill you on the backswing. Yep. Okay, sweet. Well, these unfair matchups are always pretty hairy. We got through 2 of them. That's awesome. I look good in my own video. Cool, instant Q. Let's see what we're up against. Not keepable. Basic Swamp. I should have played. Amped Raptor Tribal over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do I just keep triple Raptor? I do, right? What a goofy hand. Imagine if that was a 7. Alright, what is my opponent playing? Probably Belcher again. Ooh. That's new. Very interesting. I'm interested. Let's play our amulet first. We can get a lot of pings off of this raptor. No clue what the hell you're playing. I'm interested. Why are you playing Leyline of Sanctity? Please clarify. What combo deck wants all of these cards? Is it just Red Prison? What the hell are you doing? What's going on? Okay. Amp it up. Oh, another talisman? Sure. Or unstable amulet, whatever it's called. We can get a land drop right here. That would be very nice. Okay. It's good. Ocelot Pride. I mean, that's so good with what we have, right? We just want it anyway? I guess so, right? Even though I don't have the mana for it right away. What are you doing? I'd love to know. What are you cooking? You should have not kept this Ocelot Pride on top, by the way. I do not know what they're cooking, and I'm kind of scared. Okay, so sequencing question. Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride, or Guide of Souls into maybe Amped Raptor? I think I like the idea of going this into Raptor. If we don't hit, we can then activate our amulets, which is pretty cool. Ooh, the funny monkey. We still get an amulet activation, we get 2 pinks. Oh, we also have energy to throw into making our Amped Raptor bigger, but I like just drawing cards. Can't go wrong with drawing cards, right? What are you doing? I'd love to know. If it's Red Prison, I'm so excited. Red Prison with Ugin's Labyrinth, so you get Chalice on turn 1. Just give us Simian Spirit Guide in the format already, brother. Don't be afraid, okay? I will use Simian Spirit Guide for good. There's no Trinisphere, right? You don't have to be worried about the silly monkey. Ah, a ring. Okay. Sure. I'm probably getting rid of that ring with this prison. Let's see why not. Just trying to think about my sequencing, because there's a lot of cards I want to play, right? Are you good, opponent? They're working on being good. Maybe they're thinking about furying my board? 1, 2. Yeah, killing a bunch with fury is an option. Okay. Let's... Maybe we can start with the 1 Ocelot Pride. Go ahead and get a little energy here. Use it. We have the Blessing. Johnny. Oh, no, that was the wrong one. That was the one that had the Static Prison under it. Crap. That's a little problematic. I really do want a Static Prison in the ring, though, because it's their source of card advantage, so let's get rid of it. Static Prison on the ring. I'm going to go ahead and spend this energy, because we're going to get more energy on our end step no matter what. Let's get rid of this Nightmare. I can't cast it. Oh, well, no, I can. Sometimes you win, sometimes you spin, as they say. Alright. Total Amped Raptor domination. Okay, so we have a bunch of energy for next turn so that we could just, like, ping them a bunch with these amulets. Yep, even more life, even more energy. This is really sweet if this is Red Prison. Is this a 2-mana rock or 3? Oh, it is a 2-mana rock. Okay, yeah. This is probably Red Prison. Yeah, I was thinking about, I didn't say it out loud, is I was thinking if it's Red Prison, they're probably playing a 3 damage sweeper, and maybe I should attack with Guide Spools, put 3 energy into it, and then it becomes a 3/4, it dodges those wraths, but that 3 energy is worth cards off of our unstable amulet, and I'd rather just have those cards if they wipe the board. Sneak attack. That's a good way to win if you're playing Prison. I'm at 25 HP. Can they kill me? Because sometimes they sneak in the big fat worm, and that only does 15. 15 and leave some bodies behind. Oh, hi. What do you do? Annihilator X. Oh. Okay. Hear me out, chat. Do we have lethal on the backswing? We don't want to give him the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can get rid of the amulets too. Yeah, like hear me out. We get rid of all the non-creature permanents, and then we kill him on the backswing. You can have the ring. You're not going to get protection because you didn't cast it. What a goofy deck I'm playing. Yeah, draw your card. I don't care. All right, this deck is too goofy, maybe. Oh, this doesn't have trample. I kind of just want to take 14, though. And have everything to swing with. Because that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage I'm swinging back with. It's going to be a little bit more with the Guide Souls pump. And they're taking a 1-ring damage as well. Alright, let's go ahead and get in there. They're going to be sneak attacking defensively. Oh, no way! Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That was pretty dope by our opponent. Alright, now I have no permanents. I have no mana sources. I have plenty of permanents. That's dope. So they get to kill a bunch of things, they get to block something. What a weird game. They probably block my guide, right? Yeah. What a weird game. Yep, you get that guy back, so you can sneak him in? This is not killing me, right? No? Okay. But it is blocking. I think we lose. Wow. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have... I think I did that Annihilator trigger, right? Right? Maybe I should have kept 2 lands and just sacrificed my little kitty cat tokens, but I noticed I had lethal. I wasn't expecting a defensive fury blowout. It's a sweet deck from our opponent, though. It goes to 5, and then they hard cast that, sure. And they notably kept up sneak attack here, so they probably have a card to cast off of it. Oh wow, this is a little frustrating. Could have kept some lands in play, definitely. We would have been able to rebuild. Yep, there's your sneak. Ah, oh, Phalge. Alright, I'll scoop to that, since they're gonna gain some life. Alright, that was pretty sweet by them. So needling a sneak attack or the One Ring is pretty good. We can get rid of the galvanic discharges, and I would like to thought seize them. They did just start on Leyline of the Void. They're not going to have that every single time. I think thought seize is still a plenty fine sideboard card to have against them. It seems pretty good. We're not packing Artifact Enchantment Hate because I don't value it right now, but maybe I should. Maybe I should have some mass Artifact Enchantment Hate just to blow up their side of the board. I think about that for the sideboard. Alright, they sideboarded quick, probably because they got the plan against Boros. Play first. Oh no, bro, your white sources. Can't keep that. This we can keep a bit better. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. They don't have the ley line. If they do have the ley line, we could actually, like, move it out of the way with the prison. Not sure if that would be worth it, though. Okay, so let's start with Rakdos. Let's seize them. Alright, what are we doing? Ooh, Breath Weapon? Yeah. Phalge, yeah. Ooh, Chalice on 1. Ooh, Chalice on 1. Ooh, Chalice on 1. Yeah, I think Chalice on 1 is the card that kind of kills us the most. 1 or 2 would be really troublesome. And really diminish our ability to fight back. We didn't want a sneak attack. Okay, we can thought seize them again in like a turn or two. I don't think we have to do it right now. I think right now we should play the Amped Raptor. Because like every hit for Amped Raptor is good except the one other static prison in our deck. Oh wow, Chalice on 1. Guess you got it then. Maybe I should have thought seized the previous turn, that would be better. Chalice will counterspell that, so I'll just keep my energy. It's not like a breath weapon us? Oh, good. Maybe I shouldn't have played my Raptor. I think we lost to Chalice. I should have thought seized again to take out whatever that they drew off of what the hell is that card called? Devourer of Destiny, this boy over here? Maybe. Maybe. I knew there was a chance that they'd have a fun card like that. Okay. Let's do nothing. We're so fucked. We're dead. We lost. Like, they have a Phalge in hand, too. If they didn't have this Phalge, I would be a little more confident. By the way, I think this deck is sweet. Red-White Prison, built around Phalge, the Elementals. You're playing Chalice on 1, potentially, off of... Where did that card go? There, Eldrazi. Devourer of Destiny imprinted onto the Tron land. The Devil land, whatever it's called. Ugin's Labyrinth. I like it. I like it a lot. Lines up very well against their deck. I maybe could have played a little better. But I'm looking to concede very soon. Yep, I'm looking to concede here. That's awesome. I love the deck. That's some sweet innovation. I don't think we're going to instantly craft it and queue it up, but that's sweet. And then they had new, what was it, new Ulamog or new Kozilek? One of those two is the sneak target. I wonder, I'm thinking about if I would want to build that deck myself. Would I do it as sneak or would I just make it an elementals deck? Sneak does give them a pretty decent win con, but like at the same time, I don't think they had any difficulty hard casting that stuff. It's interesting. It's a cool deck. Cool deck. It's one we weren't prepared for. Maybe if we had mass artifact enchantment hate, you know, as a card that I saw in somebody else's Boros sideboard recently that I didn't quite understand was Heliod's Intervention. Who remembers that one? It is, let me pull up the actual card text, from Theros, the most recent Theros, X, white, destroy X target artifacts and enchantments. And that would have been great right there, because we could blow up the Chalice and get around the Chalice. His Healad's Intervention is always going to cost at least 3, so it gets around a Chalice on 1. It's interesting. I'm going to keep this hand. I just keep any hand that is a Guide of Souls on turn 1 and something I followed up with. Wow, another Leyline. So 0 creature decks. Okay, well, it'll be an interesting video in that respect. How to play Boros against unfair decks. We get to play against all of it. We got to play against Show and Tell, against Belcher, against Sneak Attack. And now we're playing against something. Someone else jamming main deck Leyline. It's probably Show and Tell again. Which is just really strange as a coincidence, because like I've seen almost 0 unfair decks lately. I was even thinking of redoing my sideboarding. My sideboard just to take out like some of these Thought Seizes or Surgicals. The decks are gone. They're not in the meta. Just take it out. Oh no, they're still here. Okay, so if they're bringing in the Slay line, they're on some bullshit. I don't know what bullshit they're on. They're going to bring in the Silence. We're going to bring in the Thought Seize. We're going to take out the removal. We're going to take out Nightmare. We'll bring in the Thought Seize. We won't go as far to bring in the Surgical when we don't know what we're playing against. Hopefully our opponent tilts against a Johnny and gives us an easy peasy win here. I would like my confidence to be boosted after losing to like a tier 17 deck last game. No, I'm kidding. That was a cool deck. I don't mean to be mean to him. I was yapping, so I kind of just clicked hit. I think I should have mulliganed that, because it doesn't actually like interact with my opponent, but they might just scoop to a Johnny again. We'll see. Goodbye, kitty cat. What are you playing? I have no clue now. Let's play in a Johnny. Hey, what are you doing? Where shall we hunt today? I'm sure bringing in Thought Seizes was still correct against this, but I have no removal spells for this death right now other than 2 Static Prisons. Okay. What are we looking at? Okay, it's fine. We can Nightmare and get him back. Mr. Dr. T. Barry's here. That bounces my own creature, so I can't just Nightmare that back. Quick play the Amulet. I think we're just gonna take... We're gonna put Nightmare into play just to saturate our mana, and we're gonna take a Surveil here. Put a Gunstable Amulet into play wouldn't actually draw a card yet. They wouldn't be able to play it right away unless it's a land. Let's try this. I'm just gonna take my Surveil. It's an EI. So this is just 4-color control, just elemental bullcrap deck. Why were they main decking Leyline, though? Interesting. It's very interesting. So an unfortunate part of this matchup is that this version of the deck absolutely cannot play Blood Moon. Not just because of lurrus, but because it's a 3-color mana base. I would love to play Blood Moon against this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. Look at this dishonesty over here. Okay. I have acquired map tokens. Alright, we can win this match. I sideboarded a little wrong, but it's fine. Okay, another Ajani. That is a good enough card for them to kill last time, so surely it is good enough to play. I'm going to go ahead and play the Unstable Amulet first, see what's under the Amulet. That's a certified classic right there. Alright, what's in that hand? A Veil of Summer. No, the Spell Pierce? Okay, yeah, Brainstorm to hide some stuff. You got it. Okay, yeah, I'll take the Bolt. I mean, I'm playing a creature deck, so taking the Bolt can't be a bad thing. And then we'll go ahead and fetch an Elegant Parlor. The fairy's ticking up, so it'll get some more value, unfortunately. And if our opponent's a Mystic Sanctuary deck, they can get whatever card back. Take our spell. Keep us under the amulet before we make any decisions. The basic planes, so I think it's almost always correct to play that, so let's think about the rest of our sequencing. Do we want to put a lurrus into our hand this turn? Or do we want to put the Ocelot Pride out there? It's only 3 mana if we play these threats from our hand, play both of them, and we have 5, and I want to saturate my mana. One way to saturate the mana is to play both of these and then do the map thing. But I think what is more powerful than doing the map thing is putting lurrus in my hand. So I'm going to present this at Johnny. Let's see whether or not it resolves. They could very well have a mana drain here. Okay, yep, the counter spell came through. So now we could probably resolve lurrus. They'd have to literally draw the counter spell here. Or they can get rid of their Teferi to draw another card. Ah, they're going to exile the Ajani, so I can't bring him back. Not the end of the world. I mean, it's certainly suboptimal. I wanted that card back. They're going to bounce a token, draw a card? Sure. They probably are looking for a lurrus answer. They know this card's got to go. Like, even though they have Deathrite Shamans to pressure my graveyard, it's still an effed up card. So over here, we could just play this cool basic. We're going to go ahead and recur the Nightmare. They're exiling a Johnny, I'm assuming. Oh, no, just kidding. Right. Oh. I should have played a tap land then, instead of just playing my basic out, but we'll explore really quick. We have drawn a land. Our opponent can kill us here with the Deathrite Shamans, which is kind of sad. Zero. And they can actually get Uro back right now. I think we give it to them. We don't actually have removal in the deck, is the problem. They took it all out. So against this deck, I actually just don't want Thoughtseizes. I want my density of threats to be as dense as possible. If I had unlicensed Terrace, I would probably bring it in against them. Nightmare is a little slow, so I will play like a Thoughtseize over a Nightmare. Maybe we play 2 Thoughtseize over 2 Nightmare. 3 Nightmare is pretty ideal. I just don't want to be too slow against their deck, and they are going to be passively hating my graveyard a little bit. Alright, alright, alright. Going up first. I would say this is okay. It doesn't interact with the opponent, but it does put, like, a lot of threats out there. And if they don't have a way to interact with our Nightmare, then we're off to the races. Play the Ruckus. Yeah, I will keep that, though. I wonder if that's the card that should just get played right away. I think so. I think we'll wait until they're end step. Flash this out. Right. Go ahead and use it. So that resolves. Might eat removal right now. That's fine. It means my Ajani will not eat removal. Oh, the funny monkey's here too. I don't think dashing the funny monkey has merit right now for a couple reasons. First, it's really early in the game and we need to be using our mana on other things. So spending 2 mana a turn for this is not something I'm interested in. Our opponent also doesn't have good hits for the Ragavan. Like, yeah, we could hit a Brainstorm or something and draw a card, but the average hit is not great. It's not like we're playing the mirror match and we're going to hit other Guides of Souls and other very good cards. for our deck, right? Stern Scolding? Yep, just the swords on my Ragavan. Okay.
Fight beside me, brother.
Let's see what they're up to. Lightning Bolt, and they shocked, so it's probably a mana drain up here. So let's begin by going to combat. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and throw out this Amped Raptor. If and when this gets countered, we'll go ahead and follow it up with a Nightmare, get our Johnny back. Maybe even Bowmasters would be appropriate to get back. Counterspell, you got it. Let's think about what we want to bring back. There's upsides to both the Johnny and Bowmasters. Johnny is a busted card, and we could flip it really, really easily by sacking cat tokens next turn. Bowmasters prevents them from brainstorming out of their trouble. I think because we have the Nightmare to sack cats, we'll go ahead and put Johnny into play. And even if this eats removal, we still have 4 power of pressure in here. And that is pretty close to a 2-turn clock of, like, their mana base is fetch land based, so they're very likely to take 1 more point in self-damage to make this a 2-turn clock here. There's Uro, okay. I've been of the opinion that Phalge is better than Uro lately, and if that was a Phalge, they'd be able to kill my Johnny. Just, like, hey, boys. Just saying. Phalge better than Uro. Alright, we're gonna queue up 1 more. Even though it's been 4 games, the video's a little long, I'm a little tired. I want to get a fair match. I want to play Boros v. Boros. Or something. Really out of the ordinary, we get 3 unfair decks in a row. And then we got like the 4-color, 5-color pile, which is fine. It looks like we got an immediate game again. Okay. Long video today. Woohoo! We're up against a Mythic gamer playing, I don't know what companion yet. No companion. We got Funny Monkey on turn 1. I love the Funny Monkey. He's such a funny little guy. He's just a silly boy. Alright, our opponent is a Once Upon a Time gamer. Primetime is the main deck that plays that, but they're revealing a Misty. Interesting. So it's the question of, do we start with Funny Monkey or do we start with Guide of Souls? I think the Funny Monkey is better to play on turn 1 with this particular hand. If I had some other life gain payoff, like the Ocelot Pride in my hand, I would be inclined to start with the Guide of Souls. No, if I had a Ocelot Pride alongside this Ragavan in hand, I would do Ragavan turn 1 still, and then turn 2 I would do Guide of Souls plus Ocelot Pride. Guide of Souls is really, really, really strong. It's probably the best card in the deck in my opinion. But Ragavan is a card you slam turn 1. Okay, it looks like this might be Titan. Which, this deck doesn't have too many sideboard cards for, to be honest. We really don't. Yeah, it's just going to be Thoughtseize, Surgical, and Prey here. We don't get to pack the Blood Moon. What the hell are you? Roaring Earth. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 on target creature or vehicle you control. You control none. Channel. Okay. Usually when somebody plays like a card that is absolute draft chaff, it's either because they don't know what they're doing or they absolutely know what they're doing, and they're a high enough rank that they probably know what they're doing. So I'm scared at what secrets that they might be hiding. We're going to play this guy, and I think we want to play our threats out at Sorcery Speed. I think Amped Raptor is going to be better than Bowmasters. They're not too likely to draw cards in their green deck. Well, you, buddy? Well, maybe I should have played Bowmasters, because I had a treasure there. Oh, it's a Nadu deck. Okay. Makes sense. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. So they put a land into play with Nadu, and then oh wait, okay. I almost made them win the game there. Right? Right? They could have won there if they hit a land or something crazy. They would have, the Nadu would have grown. I put my own Roaring Earth. I think it is most appropriate here to just play the Bowmasters. And we'll go to 3 energies so we could fly something in for the win. Alright, that was really funny. So let's say theoretically they hit a land, they put a counter on Nadu, it's got 5. I still have that much energy, but if they had 2 lands in a row? Okay. And yet again, another unfair deck. I mean, it's cool. I like seeing all the new brews after everybody's just been jamming Boros for God knows how long. So we're going to want all those thought seizes. Deafening Silence will not interrupt. Surgical is a way to get Nadu out of the deck. Static Prison is a way to interact with the Nadu, but that's its sorcery speed. Lightning Bolt does not kill the Nadu, very sadly. The Nightmare, we don't want to go for the grindy value when we're up against them. Maybe we don't want the Ragavan when we're not on the play. I think we still do want the Discharges, because that's a fine removal spell. It does kill Nadu. We did kill Nadu with it. Okay, so that random uncommon is actually pretty good with Nadu. It doesn't guarantee infinite comboing, but it's just like every time you hit a land, you get to go again. If you have multiple copies in play, you probably can mill most of your deck. Or not mill, put it into play and draw it. Okay. Guide of Souls hand? I love Guide of Souls. What a cool card. We don't have interaction, but who needs interaction when you have the best card in the format, right? Maybe I could have mulled to Thoughtseize, but I don't have like any super like hyper-focused hate cards for this matchup that just win the game on the spot, so I don't think it's worth mulliganing just to find Thoughtseize, which is good to slow them down, but kind of mid. This is my first time I've seen somebody actually play Nadu in this format, by the way. Actually, yeah, I haven't seen it myself. I've seen other people brew it on Discord. I've seen people make Mardu versions. Not Mardu. Teamer. There's like a red alchemy card that can summon up some equipment and make the equip activations a little bit cheaper. So they're using that. Let's see what that Amped Raptor can hit. Other Guide of Souls. Oh, the best card in the deck. Alright, we get to be on the beatdown. And kill the Nadu deck before it does its thing, hopefully. Alright, how we feeling, opponent? You alright over there? So they do have Nadu mana. It's not like the guy's going to do too much by himself, though. Okay. Gap for 3 mana. Alright, you know what? You could have given me a lot of guesses at what card they were going to have, and that wouldn't have been. I did not think today would be the day I would see somebody Primal Might a 0-1 plant token, but you know what? It was the day. Well, yeah. Today's the day, boys. Give me that Amped Raptor. Energy, please. My surgical... I get surgical wooded. That's why not. What the fuck, man? What's going on? Wait, where's Nadu? Oh, there he is. Okay, and they go on prime time? Sure. You had one Wooded Foothills in this deck, because you're mostly... Why are you playing MPFCs? Field of the Dead. Oh, because it's Field of the Dead, that's why you have one copy. Okay, I slightly understand your deck now. You have Cord and Primal Might, so this thing, it's gotta go. I'm glad I figured that out. We get in there. Alright, you go to 9. I think we win. Oh, PYP. Okay, I saw each. Okay, okay. This is a game. I never thought Pick Your Poison would kill an Amped Raptor, but we live in a society. You want a knight? I think we're pretty cool to... I could play the Johnny and flip it, huh? Yeah, that probably seems like the best play. Means we get to fly our raptor as well.
Beautiful day,
What a
brother.
beautiful day, brother. We fly our raptor, we do a bunch of damage in the air, and then I'm getting 2 life here. And we pretty much kill him. Okay, I'm gonna flip my Ajani anyway. They can live at 1 life here if they throw away their Tamio safekeeping. I really don't give a shit if they do that. Okay, well, they're just not gonna play through it. Okay, that was fun. We got to see a Nadu deck. Our opponent, they certainly had some ideas. Oh, and we got the whole thing on video if I wanted to rebuild it. Oh, actually, I'm so glad I'm recording, because now I can steal his deck list and go put it on Discord and pretend it's mine. Hey guys, I brewed Nadu. How does it look? Alright, that was really fun. I don't think I would want to make any changes to the deck as is. Unfair decks aren't super common, but like our sideboard was enough to beat them. We did lose the 1 game against the Beans pile, right? It wasn't even a Beans pile, it was just a multicolor. Oh, no, we lost against the Prison deck. We beat the multicolor deck. We lost against Red White Prison. I do not know what I would sideboard against that, other than maybe this thing. I don't know if we get enough mana for this stupid thing. We could. There's probably a better disenchant effect. The thing is, I want to play a disenchant effect that has an X in it that can cost more than 1 or 2, specifically to get rid of that chalice. We could play actually this prismatic ending, play pending. Spend a whole ass mythic on this because you can spend X equals however high of a number you want. Get around chalice. Maybe that would be an interesting main deck spell over Static Prison. Interesting. So yeah, this deck is sick. If you want to just take this, copy paste it, you can get Mythic and Ranked pretty easy. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Okay, I'm gonna keep grinding the crap out of this deck. It's so much fun. I love aggro decks that reward sequencing like this. Oh, you know what? One change I was thinking about, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the deck talk or not. But some people have been screwing around with Goblin Bombardment, so I was thinking maybe that since Nightmare isn't that good in multiples, we could play 3 Nightmares and then play a Bombardment, split it like that. If we wanted an extra sack effect, we could even play 2 Bombardments, so that we have a total of 5. If you want to try that, go do it. I've seen other people play Bombardment in the straight Boros version of the deck, and it's pretty sweet. Alright, that's it for me, though. Thanks for watching.